So going back to you saying that in your experience, in your previous life, you were, the opposite gender and you had a completely different ego in that lifetime. How do you deal with that when you come back to this lifetime?
Yeah. Well, so the coolest thing is that when you go into that experience, you have this dual awareness. So I had this awareness of me as Tiana. And then I also had this awareness of me being this sort of, I want to say thuggish guy who really didn't have, I was kind of a jerk. I didn't really have, awareness of, in this lifetime, I'm very sensitive and I can feel what other people feel. And so I'm very aware of that. In that lifetime, in that body, I really didn't feel my own emotions or other people's emotions. And so it was very easy for me to be very, arrogant and selfish because that's all I was aware of. And so it's really interesting to have this dual awareness going through this experience because there's me, Tiana, going, oh my God, what am I doing? And then there's me being this, man, and I can feel both. And that's a really wonderful perspective because when I come back, for instance, in this life, sometimes I'll be like, how can people be so insensitive or how can they be so, cruel? Yeah. And having that experience made me realize oh, some people don't have that awareness or that sense. It's if somebody was blind, you wouldn't expect them to understand what seeing is like. And so being able to go into a lifetime where I couldn't really feel made me understand how people could be very insensitive in this lifetime. So it really broadens your eyes and your perspective. And I think that if you're willing, it makes you much more empathetic and compassionate to all different types of people because you can see from their perspective. Now, just imagine right now in the world with all this polarity, the way that people are really going, this is right or that's right. And they're really kind of splitting up into sides. Just imagine if they could go, if you were this Christian that believed that Muslims are bad, and then you go back to a lifetime where you were a Muslim, how healing that could be, how that could heal the divide.